Linux Thomas Flatt. I'm the writer of, the 11-year-old's Guide to Linux with my mom. And I think you could tell that I was Thomas Flatt. But today, I'm going to be talking about Linux. And if you want to know more about Linux, you can download my book off of Amazon for $4. And today I'm going to teach you why I got into Linux, why I like it, why I wrote a book about it, and how to install on a device. That's what I have this right here. Now the thing is, I started out not knowing much about computers. Okay, the first thing that I did when I was computer-ish was going. Oh crap! Hold on. I'm technical difficulties.
You want to see the journal?
Yes, please. National Data Center Hacking. And this is where I met my friend, Amber. And Amber, you might have heard she went here and she did a few talks at PhreakNIC a little while ago. But I met her. She taught me about Minecraft, and I thought it was mind blowing to me. You could play style block, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do they do that? But I told you that I wasn't that tech savvy. And a little while later, my mom went to another tech conference where she learned about Raspberry Pis. And then that is where I got my first computer, the Raspberry Pi. About the size of a credit card. That. I plugged it into a computer and I broke it. Seriously, I plugged in the HDMI port, plugged it into a computer, plugged in the sound, plugged in a speaker, plugged in a keyboard and a mouse, and I started it up, and I thought you had to make your own password. So I went to system settings and made a password, but I didn't know that terminal prompt did not show a password. So I typed in a password about 8 times, and then I said, well, okay, I think I got it, and I typed it into the password thing, and nothing happened. So I typed it in again, and then I freaked out. I was like, no, I broke it! And so I had to type that, and then I never got the actual amount, and I freaked out, and so I had to give it back to someone who knew how to re-image it. Re-image the SD card to a version of Raspberry and Wheezy, and an older version of Linux. And when I started up the Raspberry and Wheezy, it still had the same thing because she didn't erase the data on the SD card. Though I didn't know that, and my mom didn't know that, and so I was stuck. The next computer I got was on Christmas, and it did not look like that. It was a Latitude. I think it was XP 2800 or 2700, and it was small. You could turn it into a touchpad. And the problem with it though was it didn't. I think the RAM broke or something, but it ran like a slug in a molasses factory, and I could barely do anything on it. And the only thing I usually did with it was run SNES stuff, and for like 2 months, and then someone got in a rocking chair. I'm not gonna say who. Someone got in a rocking chair and rocked down on my computer. Crack! The hinge broke. One of the hinges broke. I look back at the computer, and one of the cables was loose, really loose. It's like a rainbow cable, but I couldn't push it back in there. So I started up, and the black on the screen was red, and the white was pink. And later I found out that the rainbow cable was broken, and this led to some sad stuff happening later. But when I got it, I thought I could download a bunch of stuff. I found this on a regular basis. I found that because I was downloading a bunch of free games, and it sort of was like this. There's free games for free, and I'm like, and I got them, and then I got like, I think we did a virus check, and I got like 2,400 viruses on 80 gigs of data. It was just terrifying to me. And so what happened is we managed to clean that off, and I learned some stuff. I started to get good at security. Though the rainbow cable came completely loose on my computer and broke completely. The rainbow cable just got unplugged completely. And I didn't know how to plug it back in because I had to open up my computer. I was scared because if I scratched the screen, it wouldn't work anymore. And so we had to put all that stuff onto a different machine. And when I put that stuff on a different machine, I got a black screen glitch. I think you guys know what a black screen glitch is? Alright. It was when it's literally what it said. The screen went completely black, and I had to go to Control-Alt-Delete, go to Task Manager, open up Task Manager, and do stuff like it was command prompt. So if I wanted to open up Firefox, I had to do that. And I barely switched it over to Linux, and I didn't know anything about it. I just jumped right in because my mom was talking to someone about Linux on the phone. She went to another tech conference, and I learned about Linux. And how to install it through research because I was sick that day. There was no school, and so I had to do research. And I had one computer here, and I was Googling it, and then there was another computer here, and I was doing other stuff. And I was like downloading Linux and all that. And I had a bit of, and yes, it worked for 2 months, but because I had that, and then the motherboard just went. Seriously, I was writing a report for my 5th grade class, and my computer just went. And so I just kept on because computers were what I did. Later on, I got a new computer. And I installed Linux on that again and again and again because I found multiple bugs and glitches, most of which I reported to the National Linux Users Group. But one of them, I'm not going to say which distro because I don't want any negative effects done to any distro. I got a killer for my for a version of Linux that would seriously. I downloaded VirtualBox to get like an Android VirtualBox. And what happened is I saw that my terminal was being deleted, my shop was deleted, my browser was deleted. I'm like, what? How is this happening? And so I turned it off, turned it back on. Thought it was just something, a glitch that was going on, and I got the Linux Mint screen and just stayed there. Called it. I just told what version of Linux this one. It was a deminter. That's why I called it. Deminter. And so I downloaded a bunch of onto my machine. It's a machine I'm using right here. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you this later. But let me get it started up first because I don't want to waste your time with putting in a USB and all this stuff. So I created a book. I created the book and the intro all the way back here. The book right there with my mom. I told you. And I did this because I didn't want a Linux for Dummies. Okay, I don't want people to think that they are dummies when they're reading the book. So I created this. And I was very happy with what I did. It started out with just a paper. So I was doing a report for my mom because I got a C in language. I was doing like 4 reports. And so one of them was on Linux. I wrote the report, and they thought, oh, this is a good report. Let's write a book. And so we wrote a book, and we put it on Amazon. And now I'm writing books left and right. But that was my first book. And I just didn't want a Linux for Dummies, and I want people to know what Linux was, even if they're 11 or younger or 110 or something. So I made that. It's a short, like brochure. And so if you want to do all the things it says in the book, I think you're going to need a version of Linux. So,
You're gonna reimage now?
yes, I'm going to reimage.
Okay. So if you're younger than 12 and you'd like to see this, you'll probably want to go ahead and just pull up. You can gather around because you can't show this on the screen.
And
So seriously, if you're a kid, come up so you can watch him do this. You'll know what he's doing.
while we're trying, okay, no, I want to show one more thing. You might think reimagery is like this. Hold on. This. It is a Arch Linux, but I'm going to start something like this. It's simple. You only have to do a few things and it's there. But when you get really good, you can do something like this.
Okay.
This, I'm going to be installing Linux Mint.
Call him out, Thomas.
Come on, guys, if you want to see.
So you want to see how it's Linux installed, guys? Come over and find.
Yes.
Emma, can you see him?
You guys can just stand over here. Okay. I told it to go and boot off the USB. So I got some. So
Now,
I
where'd you get the stuff in the OC? Start there first, because without that, they can't do it.
first I went to Udemy. You can just do a quick Google search and you'll find something on. I thought they were all around me. So I went online and got Udemy, and you can do a quick Google search. And you'll find something with Udemy, and you can also find a quick Google search to find the version of Linux you want. So if you want something like Manjaro Linux, which is a little bit like Linux Mint or Ubuntu, then you can just search Manjaro Linux or Ubuntu Linux. And so I'm going to be installing Linux Mint 17.2 Cinnamon, 64-bit. Let's see here. And you get this, and you start, okay, yep. And so you get this, and it's going to pop up with the screen that says, do you want to install or do you want to try? Hopefully.
Demos never go as planned.
Even Bill Gates has had the blue screen of death in there.
And the red ring of death. Oh, okay. Hey, you got farther than before! Okay. Let's see here. You get this screen. Install Linux Mint. So you double click that. So we want like English, don't we? Or do you want something like French?
Kids, don't
or...
click OK and next without asking your parents.
And you really would like to connect to a Wi-Fi network, so let's connect to Clarion. So you can install updates before this.
So Thomas, how long does it take to install?
15 minutes, probably.
So if we could start
It
it,
tops is about an hour.
so we can
depending
start
on how
it,
old
we
it
can
is.
take it over next door and finish it over there. And that way we don't have to all stand here.
That's
Yes.
That's it, right?
We have to have it plugged into a power source for best results. We don't want it to freak out. It's not a good thing.
So,
No, this happens when you're trying to install. Oh wait, were you gonna say something?
well, I was going to say, do you want to take questions and we'll finish
I think
that
that'd be a
up over
good
there?
idea. If y'all want to sit in the front row there.
One more thing I'd like to say. If you're trying to install Linux to Linux, you get something like this, and you want to do that. You want to do that. First time installing Linux to Linux, and I was trying to install Ubuntu to Mint, I got something like that. I was freaking out. Wondering why is it doing that?
Okay, it'll be there.
I have questions while it's loading.
So what gave you the idea to write a book? Why a book?
Well, first off, I got to see in language, and also because I found out about Linux. I learned a lot about Linux, and I decided to write a paper for the C that I got to turn it into my fifth grade English teacher for extra credit.
How many pages are in your book?
7.
No.
Counting them like
The original book, yes.
yeah, the
but
original
we-
book
but
like not.
You've got like
full pages.
24
You
now.
got 24 pages for an ebook. So it's like a 10-minute read.
And is it showing you how to install Linux?
Here,
Or just telling how to use it?
don't be distracted. Listen to the questions.
Is it what?
Is your book telling you how to install Linux or how to use it?
Yes, it's talking about both of those. In the end, it teaches you how to install Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and Puppy, which is something which is a smaller Puppy version of Linux for older systems.
So what does it start with? How's your book start?
It starts with a intro to OSs because you need to know what Linux is. You need to know what Linux is in a just noun sense, not an improper noun sense.
Is there any more questions from the audience?
You want this to be encrypted?
Here, Thomas, don't fool with it anymore. There's questions over here.
I was gonna say, you are awesome. You are amazing. And I wish I could have brought my son here. But it took me like 13 hours to get out of Louisiana yesterday because they kept canceling flights. But I'm glad just to have come here and have met you. So my question is, where do I get your book? You said Amazon?
Amazon. I think
Okay.
it's amazing that you came from Louisiana to see me.
I'm amazed by you. Actually, I got invited, but I'm so glad that you're here. Alex, I wish my youngest were here. Okay, so, and how much is your book?
$4.
Cool, we good. Thank you so much.
And Dr. Thedrice will be speaking later.
So how many different flavors of Linux have you tried so far?
I'd say about 5.
And what's your favorite distro?
You know, it's hard. I got Ubuntu here, though I've also got Xanos. There's Manjaro. I think I choose Ubuntu over all of them.
Have you tried any other operating systems besides Windows and Linux?
Mac, but I don't find it that good.
Been there.
Any other questions?
Do you get the proceeds from your book?
Proceeds?
Like the money?
I get half of it. My mom gets the other half. So we both wrote the book.
Very cool.
All right, I think that's it.
I got a question, Ben.
Oh,
Do you think you'll write another book, and what would it be?
I might do a Hackintosh for the 11-year-old's guide to Hackintoshes.
can you tell us what a Hackintosh is?
It's as I told you before, the original Macs aren't that good. But when you take a NVIDIA core and put it in like a Mac, not a Mac, a PC desktop, and then you use and you put a Mac disk in there, and so you'll be able to run Macintosh stuff. And you got yourself a really overpowered, overclocked Macintosh, which is called a Hackintosh.
Tell them about the other book you've written.
I've also written another book, which is a novel, at Avi Novel Camp, and I've wrote it, and it's in like I don't know, it's in this weird printing site, I wrote a book at Avi Novel Camp, and it's a novel, and it's about 4 people who go on a journey because one person because his family is poor, another person because he wants to get rich, another person because she needs to do a favor, and another person because what was it? Because he's his friend and he wants to get part of it.
So earlier when you were talking, you said that you kept learning a lot. I guess I gathered you kept learning a lot because stuff kept breaking.
Yes.
So you broke, what, 3 computers first, or?
I broke like 15.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
You mean the operating system? You
The
just, they
operating
stopped
system
working?
I broke. The computers I broke. Yeah, you remember, Mom?
Oh, I remember, I lost count, but I didn't realize it was so big. The first one, when the hinge broke, what did I tell you to do to repair it? Because you wanted a new computer.
Duct
what
tape.
was it? Yeah.
It did not work.
It worked for 6 months. 6 months is good. For him, 6 months is good.
Okay.
This one's still intact.
True.
Okay. Well, thank you, Thomas.